Welcome to the Thundercloud Sage, the only one I can count on to show up on time. We appreciate that. Thank you for being a valued subscriber. Unlike the other 13 who can't show up on time like you. We certainly appreciate your enthusiasm for the brand of the Thundercloud. Sage, I've got very good news for you today. We're gonna do our breakdowns, and as always, we are going to start with the NBA news. And there is none, other than the Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle saying that Benedict Mathurin will start next season. Well, go figure. Next man up, someone had to start. Not that he's starting in place of Tyrese Halliburton, but he'll be starting nonetheless. That's our NBA news. Welcome to the Thundercloud, the Corpse Files. NFL. We've got a little bit to go over here, but not really a ton. First and foremost, Matthew Stafford is apparently dealing with an aggravated disc in his back. He has had 2 notable back injuries in the past that I'm aware of, so that's probably not a good thing. But I'm sure I'll be okay at the same token. What's this saying? Looks like this weekend, Cam Ward's going to play a couple offensive series in the team's first preseason game, which will be against... They don't even list who that'll be against. So, Sage, you'll have to break the news on who the Titans will be playing this week, or weekend, I should say. Interestingly enough, there are 2 Roto World articles about Matthew Golden and praise that Jordan Love has been giving him. So, first and foremost, we've got Jordan Love saying that Matthew Golden is polished, has strong hands, smooth route running. He's going to be a stud. It seems like he should get plenty of playing time right away. So, a guy to keep an eye on in Green Bay. In our first unofficial depth chart for the Packers, Marshawn Lloyd was listed as an RB3. That is really just because he's been a bit banged up. He's definitely our second best running back, but I can see why they would tab Emmanuel Wilson as the number 2 because he's been practicing regularly. So there is that. What else do we have here? More Jordan Love for Matthew Golden, saying that Matthew Golden is the most impressive Packers newcomer and he's going to be a stud. Why couldn't they just put that into one article there? It doesn't really make a ton of sense to me, but again, I'm not the idiot working for Roto World. Get your shit together, Roto World. Just sifting through the shit here, seeing what else is notable. No one gives a shit about Hollywood Brown. He's overrated. Zadarius Smith is still unsigned. There could be interest from the Lions. Apparently, that's what their GM Brad Holmes is saying. He's got a bad personality though, so I don't know. Oh, you guys are playing the Buccaneers. Well, that'll be a good little test for you. It looks like Tet McMillan has been Carolina's standout performer so far in training camp. Something to keep an eye on for fantasy leagues. I certainly wouldn't draft him early, though. Darren Waller's a week away from practicing. I don't think that's going to end up panning for the Dolphins. And who the fuck cares about Tyreek Hill being injured? So there's your NFL. Perfectly packaged and gift-wrapped. That's the NBA, NFL, and that was done in damn near record time. Damn near record time. Now, this will not be in record time because the Blue Jays today, they lit up the box score again. In fact, they did set they didn't set a record, but they did do something that hasn't been done since 1933. And that being they collected 63 hits in a three game span. So in total, they scored 45 runs against the Rockies. We lit them up by being 63 hits in fucking 3 games. That's 21 per game. That's pretty fucking big. So the box score today is going to be massive as they had 24 hits again. So They improved to 68 and 48. For those of you who don't know how to do fucking math, that's 20 games above 500. They are 3.5 games. Is it 3.5 or 4? I think it's 4. They are 4 games up on Boston, who is 12 games above 500. The Yankees are 6.5 games above 500. Or not 6.5 above. 6.5 games back, 7 above 500. Both teams, well, Boston lost, New York won, so the Jays doing a little bit to distance themselves. I don't think Boston's super sustainable, but they do have some young talent, so maybe they'll stick around till the end. I don't think they necessarily have the pitching to win the division. With that said, they've scored less runs than the Yankees and the Jays. I just think that down the stretch, the Jays are going to pitch better than the Red Sox for sure. But good series for the Jays. That really ups our plus differential. But let's actually take a look at the stats today. So it's going to be good. Let's just start with the home runs. So home run, Bo Bichette. The Red Sox don't scare me. They don't have good starters. You throw that little dipshit that they had today at me. You throw Dustin May at me. You throw that other piece of shit that came from L.A., Michael Buehler or Ferris Bueller, whatever his fucking name is. He doesn't scare me. Their pitching doesn't scare me. Even a guy that's overachieving this year that I have on my team that I'm going to end up cutting isn't going to scare me. What's his name there? I'll get his fucking name right now. Brian Bello. Brian Bello doesn't scare me. Their rotation doesn't scare me whatsoever. The Yankees' rotation scares me because they've got 3 or 4 guys that can actually fucking pitch in the rotation. So I'm not scared of Boston. I am not scared of Boston whatsoever. Position-wise, they've got players, absolutely. But you're going to have to be able to pitch. And I don't think that they can pitch at a high enough level to win a division. So I'm really not that scared of them. And, yeah, like, where were they a week and a half ago? A week and a half ago, they weren't that good. They were, what, a few games above 500? They're going to see a regression, just as the Jays saw a regression after their hot streak. It's just the way it goes. I have already reported that. We do know that that is true. The Blue Jays had the most hits, 63 of them in a 3-game span, which is the most since 1933. 1933 was a lot easier to get hits as all the ballparks were fucking huge. Except for that one Babe Ruth played in down the line. That was not huge down the line. It was a weird football stadium. To center field, though, it was pretty fucking huge to center field, that's for sure. Alright, let's go over the box score here, though, and we will cover a bit of Red Sox stuff as well before we switch gears. So, homering today was Bo Bichette with his 16th of the season in the 3rd inning. I almost said Bo Schneider. Looks like Davis Schneider had 2 home runs. So that brings him up to, what, 7 on the year? Looks like it brings him up to 7 or 8 on the year. So he's definitely chipping in. Vlad Guerrero had a home run, his 18th of the year. Ernie Clement somehow scraped a home run out. That's his 6th of the year. And total bases just looks crazy if you kind of look at the total bases for the Jays. But let's just take a look at the box score. We'll throw a few OPSs out there as well. As I said, big day for Davis Schneider. 3 for 7 with 4 RBI. OPS is at 837. So kind of looking good that we kept him around. Ernie Clement, 4 for 7 today with 4 runs scored and an RBI. He's at a 290 average, but only a 728 OPS. So a big day for him, big series for him. Those numbers are going to fall a bit soon, though, I'll tell you that much. Vlad continuing to be one of the best hitters in baseball. 4 for 7, 4 runs scored, 2 RBI. He's now at an 879 OPS clip, and he is, what is he, the sixth best hitter in the American League for OPS, or is that 6th best in baseball? I'd say probably in the American League. You guys can look that up for me, but For all the people bitching about Vlad Guerrero not earning his contract, a fucking 880 OPS is earning your contract. He's not going to do a whole lot better than that. So if you're unhappy with that, you're going to be unhappy the next 12 years. Bo Bichette today, 2 for 6, 4 RBI. He's up to a 301 average and an 815 OPS. Not going to lock up Bo now. There's not going to be any in-season talks with Bo Bichette. If anything happens with Bo Bichette, it will be in the offseason. He will certainly become a free agent and test the free agency waters. As we kind of figured all along, that would be the case, because last year, if we were to negotiate with him, we'd be offering him a much lower amount, which he wouldn't be interested in. Now that his numbers are back up a little higher than I expect him to be at the end of the year, let's not kid ourselves. His OPS was at like 790 2 days ago. His OPS is going to fall a bit, but I think he'll finish, somewhere in that 780 to 800 range by the end of the year. I do not think he'll be at an 815 clip to end the season. Ty France had his first notable game as a J. He was actually 4 for 4, 4 runs scored with an RBI. OPS isn't great, 690, but hey, you bring that up to 700, you're officially a player that is considered an average player in the league. And if you're a bench player, that's a good. I have no idea who B. Kennedy is. I don't even know this guy's first name, but he came in for 2 at-bats, had a walk, a run scored. No idea who this second baseman is. You won't see him in a couple weeks. Especially Andre Gimenez is ramping up, so he'll be back very shortly. Addison Barger with a good game today, which is nice because he's been playing kind of shitty lately. 2 for 2, 3 RBI. That OPS is up to 823 for him. And Nathan Lucas is going to be very unhappy to leave Colorado. He was 1 for 5 today. He had 4 RBI. OPS is at 775, so obviously having a big year there. Not sustainable, though. That will drop. A lot of these numbers are going to drop. Things definitely got cranked up because of playing in Coors Field. Let's not kid ourselves here. It might be a Ben Kennedy. It started with a B. Yeah, I understand that the Jays have 9 players with an 800 OPS on the roster. Mind you, they aren't all qualified. But like a guy like Tyler Heineman, who was 2 for 4 today with a 909 OPS, do you think that's sustainable? No. Do I necessarily think Addison Barger is sustainable if he were to be a starter? Nope. Davis Schneider, do I think his OPS of 837 is sustainable? No. Bo Bichette, has he ever had an 815 OPS in his career? Nope. Vlad is sustainable. I think George Springer's OPS will go down a little bit, but I don't see it falling below 800. Needless to say, I mean, it's well-rounded. I don't really see how there's 9 of them, necessarily. Who's on the bench that didn't play today? Because by my count, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Springer. Andre Gimenez certainly isn't an 800 OPS, so I'm not really seeing where the 9 come from. Loperfido, small sample, I guess. That'd be 7. Yeah, but you're going to see regression. If you think that Davis Schneider is going to be over 800, well, he wasn't above 800 entering today. 2 home runs in limited at-bats puts you over the top. I can certainly see Schneider ending below 800, Loperfido ending below 800, Bo Bichette potentially around 800 or lower. Barger, I can see Barger falling below 800, especially if you have to play him more. If there's an injury and he's not up against righties, Barger's a guy that could fall very, very fast. And Nathan Lucas at 775, he was like a 25, 730 entering this series. The home runs play a little bit. But needless to say, and Dalton Varsho, let's not kid ourselves. Dalton Varsho's got 10 home runs on the year. The pace that he's hitting home runs is not sustainable. It's not sustainable, and he is who we thought he was, It'll be a 220 to 230 hitter with probably, a 300 to 320 on base percentage. He's not going to continue hitting the ball like that. Like, he'll continue playing great defense. He does have power, but Dalton Varsho is a guy that you might get extremely frustrated with very shortly. Yes, 11 home runs in 28 games is insane. It's a great start to his season, but you see guys that go on those streaks where they hit 6 home runs in 7 or 8 games, and then you see guys that go into slumps where they hit 1 or 2 home runs in 2 months. I believe that happened to Davis Schneider last year. I could be wrong, though I don't think I am. Even Miles Straw, though, I'm 2 for 5 today. His OPS at 646, so he's clearly our worst hitter on the team. But 646 from a guy who is a platinum gold glove, like he's a platinum glove. Him and, I almost said Miles Dalton, which wouldn't make any sense. Him and Dalton Varsho, I mean, those are 2 of the best in the game. I think Dalton Varsho is definitely the best center fielder in the game, and then I think we saw the other guy in this series, Brenton Doyle. I saw that little fucker steal a home run from us today. Little fucker. I forget who it was off of. It was either today or yesterday. I think maybe it was yesterday. I'm not sure, but he's definitely a good little center fielder over there in Colorado, as you need to be because there's a lot of real estate to cover. Now, I think what kind of gets lost in with all the box score stats that we went over, and I could go over them even more. We could probably talk about the box score for another 20 or 30 minutes. What gets lost in translation is that Kevin Gausman did have a strong game today, pitching in Coors, which isn't the easiest place to pitch. Went 7 strong, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. ERA at 3.85. So looking pretty crisp. Definitely, taking a bit of a step back, which was to be expected this year, but still a 3.85 ERA, you're a good, 3 or 4 starter. So I think it was good money that we spent on him, and anyone that says that contract was bad is a fucking idiot. Braden Fisher, I mean, this guy, I don't know where Braden Fisher came from. He went an inning today, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, lowering his ERA to a 2.36 ERA. His fastball is as straight as a dart, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's good. He throws his breaking balls a ton. I don't know where this guy came from. If anyone can find out anything about Braden Fisher, I don't think he was a top pick or anything like that, which doesn't mean anything. He's a bullpen guy, so I really don't know. And this Nance guy, I really don't trust this Nance guy. Thomas Nance, I think his name is. What a scoreless inning. I know he throws his curve a lot. ERA is at 0.84, so I'm going to just turn my attention to the comments and see what the Yahoos are saying here. Varsho is 7 home runs shy of what he did last year in 351 less at-bats, to put the hot streak into perspective. Braden Fisher is from Texas, mate. Do you mean he's from Texas or he's from the Rangers? Alright, Nameless has some stats here. On June 12th, 2024, the Los Angeles Dodgers traded Braden Fisher to the Toronto Blue Jays for Cavan, Biggio, and cash. It's funny that you mentioned Cavan Biggio or Cavan, whatever the fuck his name is. He signed a contract today with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim to be an infielder / outfielder, but it's only a minor league deal, so we might not necessarily see him back, but we might see Cavan Biggio back in the major leagues sometime soon, which is kind of funny that name is being thrown out there the same day that he's potentially working back up to the majors. But I think something cataclysmic would have to happen for Biggio to be back in the majors. He's got a good eye, and that's all he's got. That's the only way I can say that. There's a move that we'll go over shortly, but there's news that made me buy into a prospect, and I don't typically buy into prospects that are in their first year. So the Boston Red Sox signed Roman Anthony, who is in his first year, I believe. He was just called up, I believe, June 9th. They signed him to an 8-year, $130 million extension. I do think that there is a club option to pick him up for 2034. The escalator, so it's 130 as the base for the deal. The escalators could max this out at $230 million. So he is 21 years old. He is a guy that apparently they've been hitting in the number 1 and number 3 spot. He was the top prospect not long ago in baseball. Apparently he's got power. He's got a great eye. He's got great hand-eye coordination. And he's actually viewed as a future MVP candidate. So when I found this out, I jumped on it. I added Roman Anthony and I let go of Lawrence Butler. So we'd like to welcome a Red Sox, who I do not like picking up Red Sox players in the league. But we'd like to welcome Roman Anthony to the squad. With that said, we're going to go to the Pete Rose Bowl cut very shortly for news. Junior Caminero, though, 22 years old. Speaking of young studs, hit his 30th home run of the year. So, pretty crazy. There is a stat here. So, he became the 20th hitter in Major League history to reach the 30 home run plateau prior to his age 22 campaign. The last ones to do it were Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna, both doing it in 2019. So we saw him at the Home Run Derby. This is a great star who Tampa Bay's probably not going to be able to afford. Let's not kid ourselves here. I'm just going to take a quick peek at the... Let me take a quick peek at the comments here. He's not another singles hitter. He's not a singles hitter. He's got power. Just because he's got 2 home runs now in 2 months, he's not a singles hitter. He's got 2 home runs right now, but he's not a singles hitter. This guy is a legitimate player that I just picked up. He got robbed of a home run tonight. You saw it on the television. Now, it was a cheap one, but he did get robbed of one tonight, actually. You saw him up against Michael Wacha, who pitched pretty damn good for me tonight. A legitimate singles hitter. Yeah, a wall scraper down the line. No, this guy's got power. You go up, you fucking look up the scouting report and tell me he's a fucking singles hitter. Come on now. That was the only move that was made in the illustrious Pete Rose Bowl cut, and it's a genius move. It's basically like pulling off a blockbuster trade at the deadline and giving up nothing. He doesn't play a lefty can't... I think you mean to say a lefty who can't hit a home run in Fenway, Yankee Stadium. He's going to hit home runs. Yeah, he's got some nice pesky pull power. Okay. You've got some pull power too, you friggin'... That's all I'm going to say right now. It's time to go over the scores. After, what, half a week almost? Half a week in the Pete Rose Bowl cut. I'm currently up 12-3. And I am threatening Sage, who is stuck 11-4 against a Nets Awesome team. So Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts, they're running out of mufflers. They are running out of mufflers, and it's not good. It's not a good look for him. He told me today that he thinks his fantasy, the fantasy luck is coming to an end. He was extremely concerned. Sage, I do want to know that Dan was chirping you a little bit before the stream. He was talking about how poorly Rafael Devers and who's the other guy there? Mackenzie Gore. He said those guys have been doing absolutely fucking nothing since they came to your team. So, Sage, he's been talking a little bit of shit about you. You're going to be the second seed, Sage. It's not the end of the world. At least you've got a bye. 828 OPS for Roman Anthony, a 400 on base, 283 average, a 1.8 WAR. Can obviously play D. This is the kind of guy. second round draft pick. He came up the ranks real quick. Sorry, I was just gloating over my pick. It was a good pick. Other scores are the Dark Sliders are up 11-2 against Vlad the Impalers, and bases loaded IBB, who desperately needs to gain ground on a Nets Awesome team, isn't winning. It's a 7-7 tie. He also needs to gain on Alejandro's astounding team, and it's a 7-7 tie. So if he doesn't win this week, it's over. This is an elimination match the way I see it. So if the ground just gets standard at 7-7, that's it. That's the ball game for bases loaded IBB. Let me read the comments. So I am louder. Is it better now if I sit back like this? Louder today than usual, mate. Is it more normal now? Soto has a 550 OPS since the All-Star break. Well, that's why we don't go over small sample sizes. That's why you look at the baseball card at the end of the season and you tell me what the player did. You don't fucking tell me fucking 2 weeks or 28 fucking games into a season what a guy's done. Because that's, I've learned the hard way. That's not usually the right way to approach her. But I think I've covered damn near everything that needed to be covered. Sage, did I miss anything in the world of hockey, perhaps? Did we get any hockey news or any other news that I potentially missed? I think it's going to be a 30-minute show. Sage says that hockey news ended on July 1st. And even when there was hockey news on July 1st, you had Mitch Marner and then a whole lot of nothing. For NBA and NHL, it's been the most disappointing, the biggest disappointment that I've ever seen for an offseason. Respectfully. Now, in terms of MLB, it's pretty fucking exciting this year. You think about the moves in the offseason with Soto, then you got Vlad in season, who wasn't necessarily going to talk to the Jays. Then you just look at the fucking trades. What was there, 60 to 80 fucking trades? I don't know the exact number, but there was a ton of fucking trades. Like, I'll tell you, when it comes to fucking flipping the bird and making trades, baseball is definitely really fun to watch when it comes to that respect. Might not be your favorite sport to watch, but definitely a fun sport in terms of just trades actually fucking occurring. Because the NFL, everyone's going to get excited about the NFL. And I'll get excited. I mean, the Packers are taking the Jets on Saturday. I'll definitely watch that game. Give a breakdown of some of the young players that I think are kind of emerging, going to make the team. Then you got the 53-man cut. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. You got your practice squad shit. But after that, apart from talking about the games, there's going to be, like, maybe 5 fucking trades made before the fucking deadline? Maybe 10, and I'm talking for like a 3 or 4 month span. NFL's terrible. Like, yeah, you'll see some signings and stuff, but if they're being signed, that's because they fucking suck now. You don't find many gems in fucking signing guys. Now, granted, we have found gems when we signed Rasul Douglas the first time. What was his name? Campbell, that linebacker. Good buy low guys. You'll find some good buy low guys, but if there's no buy high guys. There's no stud out there. So everything you're going to get is going to be a fucking project, right? Campbell, though, he kind of left on bad terms with the Packers as well as the 49ers. I don't think you'll see Devondre Campbell ever play again in the NFL after what he did last year, kind of walking out on his team. So it's a shame. We got him. He played at an all-pro level, got a big contract, and then was fucking shit. Just absolute dog shit after that. All right, there is no Age of Empires tonight. I'm going to listen to a little Blotro, potentially a little Traveling Wilburys, and we're gonna call it right there. We will be back at it tomorrow, as always. I mean, I think we've only missed 1 or 2 nights since we started this motherfucker. Tomorrow will actually mark our 100th stream. Believe it or not, tomorrow will be our 100th stream already. So it's gonna be memorable. Have a good night, guys. Chat with you tomorrow.